Hey guys, Chris Fronzak here. You're probably wondering, why the hell is this dude sitting on a BMW i8? But that's besides the point, because today I want to give you guys an in-depth review of what it's like to live with this guy, the 2016 AMG G63, the monster G-Wagon. So, let's talk about her. Here she is, finished in matte black, which is actually a factory option from Mercedes, but you can't really get any cars on the lot in matte black. You have to physically order it. So I ordered this one back in, I think it was August or September, and I just recently picked it up a couple days before Christmas. This is the 2016 G63, and if you've been following me for a little while, you know that I had a 2014 G63, and I wanted to switch it because, well, for one, these guys hold their value really well. So if you want to swap them around for brand new ones, you really don't lose a lot of money, which is kind of cool. You know, compared to most cars that just tank in value, this actually holds its value really well. You know, they're definitely a really niche car, though, intended for, I guess, a niche market because of their high price point. Here's one thing I really love about this thing, and I don't know if reviews really go over this, but when you lock and unlock the doors on this thing, it sounds like a shotgun or something. Listen to this. It's savage. It's fucking cool. All right. See what I'm talking about? So one reason I wanted the new G63 is because they actually retuned the engine, added 27 horsepower. So in this new version, it's pushing 563 horsepower, 560 pound-foot of torque. This thing's a monster. I love these down here. Side pipes. You got two on this side, two on the other side. What car has side pipes? That's badass. So for this one, we got the Diamond Stitch Designo white leather on black. And for the trim, we got the white piano wood. This is also our family car, so we got a car seat there and a car seat here. This is the dad whip. It's a good family car for sure. It's a giant steel tank, basically. Of course, you gotta have the spare tire for when things get super savage. Opening up. So one other thing that's different from this G-Wagon that was not available in the 2014 one that I had is the fact that they give you these all-weather floor mats, which is kind of made of like a really hard, rubbery type surface. And these are awesome because they don't look bad and they're durable because, like I said, this is a family vehicle, so you never know if juice or milk or shit or piss or whatever is going to get spilled on the floor. So by having these, if something were to get spilled on the floor, just pull it out, hose it off. You know, some people think these things are, you know, high and mighty luxury cars, which they are luxury, but honestly, this thing is just durable. It's rugged. It's rough, you know? This door itself, you can't feel it through the video, obviously, but this door weighs like 100 pounds. To close this door, you have to use a lot of force. It's kind of cool. Listen. You gotta slam that sucker. That's cool. This thing is like, you know, in a world of automatic hatch lifts and automatic this and automatic that, the G-Wagon is pretty old school, and I think that's what's badass about it. It's kind of an old military vehicle. Another thing that's weird about the G-Wagon when you live with one is you really gotta slam the doors. There's no soft close, there's no gentle close. For this to actually close, you gotta slam it, and it sounds awesome when you slam it. Here's an example. Let's say I didn't slam it. It's not closed. See the gap? You gotta slam it like that. And that's cool, you know, this thing's rugged, it's a tank. You can go off-roading with it, you could run over trees, whatever, you know? It's luxury, but it's a tank, and that's what's cool about this thing. Notice you got the all-weather floor mats in the front. Car's dirty as hell. I didn't clean it out really. Haven't cleaned it since I got it either. So You can see it's brand new. I got 411 miles on it. You got carbon fiber inserts in the dash. I think that's new. My last one didn't have the carbon fiber in the actual gauges. And this extra pocket is new in the 2016. You've got locking differentials in the G-Wagon. This is for if you're really hardcore. It's funny because they give you these, but like, I'm pretty sure less than 1% of the people buying this actually use the locking differentials. But hey, if you do use it, power to you. I haven't had an opportunity yet, but I really don't care. I'll do whatever in this thing. I've already taken the last one off-road and whatever, I don't really care. So let's start her up. Of course, with the G-Wagon, you don't get push start. You gotta crank it. Notice the rumble, the low AMG rumble back there coming from the side pipes. So now that I'm sitting here in the G-Wagon, let's go ahead and talk about what I love about this thing. First and foremost, it looks amazing. This thing is beautiful inside and out. I'm tall, I'm 6'3", and I like that when I'm in the G-Wagon, I can sit up super tall and I still have tons of headroom. That's like unseen or unheard of in any other car. I'm tall as hell. Usually my head, or at least my beanie, is like on the roof. So this thing is tall as hell. I love that. And another thing, you are really sitting up high when you're in this thing. You're taller than most any pickup truck. You're taller than any SUV. You sit up so high and tall in this vehicle that everyone just seems so tiny when you're driving, and that's badass. You know, especially like one thing they don't tell you about the G-Wagon that they should advertise is when you park in a mall parking lot and it's busy as hell and packed and you forget where you parked, you never miss your car when it's a G-Wagon, because all you have to do is look out and whatever roof is sticking out above every other roof is your car. These things are tall as hell, and that's pretty cool. They don't really tell you about that feature. So what else do I like about this thing? The exclusiveness of this car. When you have a G-Wagon, very few other people are gonna have this, depending on where you live. If you live in Miami, a ton of people have this. Where I live, there's a few people that have this, but none of them in matte black, which is cool, you know? So the reason this is so exclusive, honestly, is probably just the price point. I think scares people. This is a $150,000 SUV, and most people are just gonna spend $80,000 or $90,000 for a Range Rover, and that's fine if you want that, but it's just personal taste, really. I don't have anything against the Range Rover, but put it this way, I see 20 or 30 Range Rovers every day just during one single drive, and I don't see any G-Wagons. So it's kind of just, do you want to be just like everybody else, or do you want to be different? And for me, I just like to be different, honestly, and I just think the G-Wagon's way cooler. It's not really any contest at all. Another thing I like about this is the power. So as you can see to my left, I've got an i8 and a Ferrari. I like power, I like speed, I like knowing that if I needed to merge onto a highway and get up to speed fast or pull out onto a road, I can pull out in time and I have plenty of power to go as fast as I need. And this thing, you can pretty much almost beat any car on the road besides actual sports cars. So that's kind of cool to me, the fact that this big monstrous 2-ton G-Wagon can beat a Mustang GT in a road race. That's kind of cool. So I like the power. That's definitely another big factor of this. Another thing I like is just how luxurious it is. These seats are really, really comfortable to sit in. They're comfortable for road trips. This car is a comfortable, luxurious car that can kick ass and go off-road. That's cool. Now, what do I like specifically about this one is the fact that it's so much smoother than my 2014 G63. If you've ever owned a G-Wagon, you will know that they tend to be a little shaky. The suspension can be off. I have to say props to everyone at Mercedes and AMG, because for the 2016 model, they really, really figured it out, finally. This is such a smooth vehicle. It would be perfect for a long trip. There's no more shaking. There's no more of the weird suspension issues that there was in the past. And you know, it wasn't anything that really bothered me too much, because you have to just sit back and say, look, this is a giant box. Do you really expect it to be perfectly smooth? No, but I have to say, for 2016, they nailed it. And the retune that they did on the suspension is perfect. This thing is smooth as ice now, and I love it. Here's another thing I love about the G-Wagon that they really don't tell you when you buy it. So this bar that's in the front of the G-Wagon, this giant hard chrome bar, also serves to blind the living hell out of anyone that's in front of you. So down here in Florida, we always have those left lane grandma and grandpas in their Lincoln Town Car going 20 miles per hour on the highway. Well, if you get behind them in this thing, when the sun hits it and shines back into their car, it blinds them, literally. You cannot see anything. So anytime you get behind someone super slow and you're in the G-Wagon, it forces them to move. And I think that's pretty badass. That has to be one of my favorite features. As ignorant as it is, we all hate those left lane drivers that are clogging up the road going nowhere. This chrome bar eliminates those people every single time. I love it. So let's go ahead and talk about some things that I don't like about the G-Wagon. So first of all, if you're only buying a vehicle because it's practical, you probably don't want the G-Wagon, because the G-Wagon is not a practical vehicle. First things first, where's my cup holder? You don't get a cup holder in the G-Wagon. You know what you get? You get this. It's a little circle with a net in it. It can hold a cup, but barely. That's what you get. It flips down. So you don't get a cup holder in the G-Wagon. $150,000 and no cup holder. First world problems, but it's just kind of weird. You don't get push start in the G-Wagon or automatic locking or anything like that. It's kind of stripped of features, but you kind of have to sit back and realize that that's what makes this thing special. They didn't conform to all the new technology. I mean, obviously you've got an infotainment and stuff, but they didn't kind of conform and turn this into a total luxury vehicle. They kind of kept it as an old school rugged off-road vehicle, which is kind of cool. Another thing I'm not a huge fan of is the lack of space. You know, it's a big car, it's really tall, but it doesn't really hold that much. The distance between the front and the back seat isn't that huge. There's not that much room. Not that I'm ever in the back seat anyway, so it doesn't matter to me, but there's not a whole lot of space in here. The trunk too. I mean, it's tall as hell, but you don't get a whole lot of room in here. So if you're the type of person that needs to fit a couch in here, a bed, I don't know, like a ton of boxes, or you got to go to Home Depot and pick up a whole bunch of shit, this is probably not the vehicle for you. You're probably going to get a Suburban or an extended Escalade or something like that. So it's not very roomy. It's kind of compact, but like I said, if you're only in it for practicality, you are not going to like the G-Wagon. The G-Wagon is for the people that don't care. This is the I don't give a fuck vehicle. So if practicality isn't the only thing you're looking for, if you just want a badass truck that no one else really has, the G-Wagon is for you, and I think you'll love it. So that was my review of the 2016 Mercedes G63 AMG. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like these videos, leave a comment below and make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be posting some more of these very shortly. Also, I just made a cars only Instagram page besides my personal page. So if you're into cars and you want to talk cars with me, follow my Instagram page, Team Franz. Thanks, guys.